Okay, here we are. It's not a Smith & Wesson video. Today we're dedicating everything to Italy. Berettas. Yeah, I don't only shoot or have Smith & Wessons. Comparing some Berettas here. Both are not normal Berettas per se. This is not a Beretta 92. This should be a 92 what? Alpha Uno? I like to say it that way. 92A1, is that what it is? As opposed to the M9A1, which supposedly I think the M9A1 is pretty much similar, but made in America, the square guard. But anyway, so this is an A1, 92A1, which is, in a way, really a second gen 92, which really, in a way, this is just a normal looking 90-2. If you look up a Beretta 90-2, that was really the first second gen 92. That took Beretta 92 to the future with the internal aluminum buffer, with the heavier slide, with the rail, and its other features. The slim grip in the back, and you could upgrade it to bigger, depends what you want. Changing the safety to cockpit was a little more angled, so supposedly people that might turn the safety on rack in the slide. Anyways, and this has the best slide stop release in the market. I mean, just use that if you can't, it doesn't matter. Anyways, but yes, that's a 92A1. Both are Italian made, 2013, 1996. 1996. That's 1995. No, 95? No, this one's, no, that's 2003. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, here you have a Beretta Cougar 8000. So the major Beretta was the 92, right? And that became the M9 with some slight minor variations for the military, U.S. military, and around the world, NATO countries. Very popular, right? This is the next gen, with some major improvements, you could say, perhaps. This one does not have a fixed guide rod, which I don't mind. Use a spring and a guide rod because it's easier to clean, believe it or not. Yeah, it's easier. Well, if you lose it, two pieces, or yeah, but the difference is you could just replace the spring and keep the guide rod. Whereas if you have a fixed guide rod spring, when that shit wears out, and you're not gonna be fucking with that. You're gonna buy a whole new set. So, is what it is. I mean, here you have one guide rod, pretty much last you forever, and you can just replace the spring every 5, 10,000, 15,000 rounds, depending how you shoot and what kind of ammo you shoot, and etc. Both have Brunaton, same finish. And I've heard people say the finishes on American, Italian finishes look slightly different. I've heard the Italian finishes are darker, where the original American ones were a little more grayish. Is that true? I don't know. But I have seen some Berettas more like jet black on the finish, and then others not. But we're not here to talk about that as far as the finish. But kind of like a little micro review. And also today I went to the range with these side by side. I don't go to the range that often. I mean, shit, maybe every month or every other month. It'd be nice to go, every week, but ammo's too expensive, and it is what it is. Life, right? Obviously, this one has non-Beretta grips with the wraparound, so you don't have to just excuse that, taking away from the aesthetics, but though it does feel nice. This has the classic. This would have the same type of grips on that. But I'm not sure. These might interchange. They actually might. I'd have to look. No, I don't think so. I think the mag release is different. So how do these shoot side by side? You can't compare them. You can't. This is full size, 5-inch barrel. This is a sub 4-inch barrel. Both have full size grips. These mags would be interchangeable, but the mag catch is different. So I'll show the mags later. You could put a cut in the Beretta 92 mags, but that's the only downside of this with these mags. But these, I have a bunch of Pro mags, and believe it or not, and they're crispy mags. They're very new condition. The Pro mags in this were flawless, and I mean flawless. I would not lie to you guys. Flawless. So it is what it is. Is what it is. Is what it is. Both have safety decockers, different style though. Even though this is the older design, the 92, this is a newer design because this is the A1. So this is an upgraded, you know, where this is a Cougar. Where later on, and this was only out for a few years, then it went to Stoger in Turkey to make it, you know, something very similar, but less labor cost. And they did take away some features on the. I've had a Stoger Cougar back in the day, and this shoots nicer, and the slide, everything, it's a better build. I can't stress that enough. Anyone that says, "Oh, just get the Stoger version over the," why would you even need the Beretta? Okay, let me know. Okay, come on. The original is always the best. I just can't stress that enough. That's not being a sellout or copy. Like the Beretta 92 is made best by Beretta in Italy. That's what they do. You know, there might be some other stuff comes out and copies that have some nice features, which is nice. But at the end of the day, heat treatments and parts, these little things that you might not realize, and standard parts that you can replace a locking block versus if you get a Turkish copy, you know, and you can't replace, or good luck finding it, etc. So, yeah, these both got 115 rounds each. They got 2 boxes each and a mag full of hollow points, so the same mag techs. Everything flows, no failure to feeds, no failure to extracts, no jams, not at all. They were accurate enough. I wouldn't say today I was on my best behavior. I mean, some points I shot very slow fire and giving a shit, and other points we were just letting them rip. And still, I mean, on target. You know, and I always have small targets. You know, that way when I miss, I'd be hard on myself. Look, I missed. I'm 2-3 inches high, but my target's only like 4 inches diameter. I'm not going for, you know, putting a gigantic target where, you know, it's the whole, you know, 2x4 piece of paper. Well, as long as it gets on it, and that's fine. But aim small, miss small. But that's how I like to shoot. But yeah, but I did also have some fun though too. It's great to shoot slow fire, and I guess I could have got separate targets for that, for slow fire and then rapid fire. Everything I use was 115 grain, which also is, I believe, like 9mm least favorite. 124 and 147 seems to be much accurate. I find sometimes with 9mm, the 115 prints a little high. 124 seems to be right on, and 147 is right on with less recoil. That's my opinion, but I didn't get to use 147 today. I didn't have it. So we'll show the other sides here. Let's start with here. This is the Cougar. Now you see here? Now I've cleaned that before, but like that's on the guide rod there. But this is a fixed guide rod, so you can't get that spring back. You can't separate it to clean it. So you have to pull it back and then wipe it down while it's in there. I'll explain that later. But yeah, it's just dirty though. I'm gonna clean this gun, and then at the end you'll see them nice and clean. It's not that it's filthy, but it's very hefty. The upper on this feels heavier than the 92. Even though this is the shorter gun, smaller gun. There's really nothing small about it. Yes, I know you could drop it, but I'm not going to. So this is the big boy gun, but the upper feels much lighter. Pros and cons of that. This is a beefier system. This was designed for 40 cal. However, though, the original 92 was designed for 9mm. These upgrade here, the A1 and the M9A1, this is designed for 40 cal. It's much more beefier, but there's less weight here, which feels nice in some ways. But under rapid fire, this I found stays. There's less muzzle flip under rapid fire with this. It's like a torque drive with this type of barrel. So it is what it is. I mean, still nothing beats the classic 92. That's what Beretta is. I mean, if Beretta only made one pistol for the rest of their life, this is all they have to make, and they can stay in business. 92, you know, but also 92 had the timing right, meaning this got the military contract to beat the 1911, and so that made it, you know, king of the world for a long time. And then it got replaced by a SIG 320 piece of plastic, which is what it is, and so it made people even wish for it, nostalgic, and love it even more. And 92 has been more popular than ever. Not just by movies, but actually people that shoot. This thing didn't have a fucking chance. Now, when they switched to polymer, the PX4, nobody cared. People still shot it, and it was actually still a NATO certified pistol. And a lot of NATO and polices around the world carried the PX4. It's actually very popular at the Middle East. It's a fantastic, strong gun. This one, though, too close to the original 92 in the 90s. It's made 96. And I don't know if people didn't get it, but I think it cost more than the 92. And when this came out, it was during the Clinton-Barron era. So all new magazines for either gun, any pistol, rifle, can only come with 10-round mags. However, though, people buying a 92 in the 90s could get pre-banned mags because there's so many mags maybe for 1994 that had 15 plus capacity. So you could have bought this and just, bought your military surplus or other 15-round mags and just made them worth more. But okay, you have plenty of 15-round mags. This design came out and there was no pre-banned mags. So you were screwed. So even back then, so when you bought, and still today, but Pro Mag makes 15 rounders. And that's what this came with, Pro Mags. However, there is a company called Triple K that makes, they said, supposedly Beretta said they bought all their mags. But they said they make their own mags. I said, well, I called them. I said, well, if you make the Beretta mag from your stock, why are you only making to 10 rounds? And he couldn't give me an answer. I'm like, no, you're not making the Beretta. If you were making the Cougar mag, making it 15. So yeah, no one outside of Pro Mag. But shout out to Pro Mag, they actually work flawless. And I mean that. Like, I would trust my life with that in this. I was actually, so, is what it is. The Pro Mags work. In this, NMI 59. It's got a cool look to it. You see it has like a jet black look to it. That Beretta Brunaton finish. Now it is dirty though, and we'll clean that. So, only downside with this one right here, this does have the polymer trigger. I mean, it's a piece of steel with like polymer coating over it. It's the cheaper, you can upgrade that. Yeah, I mean, why? So you can upgrade yourself? I mean, it pisses me off with such a great gun. This has a fluted steel guide rod though. Lots of times that piece normally comes in polymer, so is what it is. Everything on here is metal. Everything. So it is what it is. Really interesting design on the Cougar. You could say it didn't last, but it really, in this day and age, it transitioned. It went Ozempic. It traded the aluminum frame and it went to plastic. Maybe it's polymer. And then it became the PX4. Obviously, they changed the look of the slide, and that's it. And so in a way, the Cougar 8000 is still being made. It didn't die. It just went to polymer. And it's more popular than ever. And it comes in 3 sizes: subcompact, compact, which is very popular, and full size. It comes in 9, 40, and 45. So in reality, though, this is the grandfather of, and this is very clean for, obviously it's dirty now, but I mean very clean, not beat up or scratched up, for 1996. So we're gonna take these apart and then I'm gonna clean them. But look at that. I mean, so the hammer spring is gonna, on the Beretta design, is gonna be in here. You can take the grips off, pop the pin. So it is a very durable design, but it makes it heavy and bigger because unlike, let's say, with the Smith & Wessons, the hammer spring is just going to be under the wraparound grips, so they can get the wraparound grips smaller and you have less weight here in the back. But here, if you break the grip, I mean, the gun's still going to be fine because the hammer spring, the spring that connects the hammer spring, is in the steel aluminum shell underneath. Triggers, that's not fair either because it says the polymer. At the same time, though, this I felt, I could go by feeling. Yeah, I like the steel trigger on this better, but also how do I say this? How do I say this? the action. In some ways, I felt still the classic 92, the action, um, with its locking block, was a faster shooting gun, but the trigger under rapid fire, I'm so used to Smith & Wessons with that short reset. The reset here is longer, so you'll be trying to time it under rapid fire. Just pull and release because and just keep that timing. You know, you look at it, you like that, you know, get that timing. Whereas trying to stage that reset, you're gonna short stroke it, and then so the gun's gonna stop, and you have to you might pop, 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 and then stop, and then so this reset on this is quite long. It's gonna reset out to here, so you're gonna break. Gun's already been cleared, so you're gonna break this here, and the gun's gonna have to come back all the way here. Now, obviously, it'll be cocked. It's still gonna come back here. I can't do it one hand, but from here, you're gonna have to come back to the. That's a long reset under single action, so that's what's gonna reset there. So you're gonna fire it, and it's still a long reset even under single action. It's very nice, easy pull. So just let it go, and don't try to time the distance, if that makes any sense. If you don't know about shooting, then forget about it, right? AP right now is sitting in a thong. 16 minutes in, I might space up these videos. This one has the better. History favored this gun. The parts are available. It's been upgraded into all different kinds of versions. The grips are available. The magazines, forget about it. Infinite magazines. Infinite magazines. You have Glock, you have the 1911, and Beretta 92 mags. I mean, just easy, and so many people make magazines in different sizes. It is what it is. So this is the strongest version of the 92. Absolutely, it's beefier. The frame, everything's beefier on this thing. This thing shoots. It feels like you're shooting at 22. However, so does this. But this is, in some ways, this has 92 parts that are in the frame, etc. But it's very top heavy. But when you're shooting it, oof, it feels nice too, though. So you know, in a way, for this to be right equal to a full-size gun, but being a shorter barrel, even though it's chunky on top, this is a stronger system. If this system was 5 inches, I think it would be the superior pistol. But we're not talking about. It didn't win though, so it doesn't have the support or aftermarket support. And also, it's bigger and heavier. If this was 5 inches, it'd be a lot heavier than this. It is what it is. This would have been interesting. Let's see. Oh, I can't do it. This is like the worst gun review channel. Okay, we got these apart. And this doesn't. Unlike, I'm pretty sure there was a change on the Stoger Cougar. This doesn't stay fixed in there. You have to putting this back together on this. You got to pay attention. It's not like a normal guide rod like this, if you understand, meaning it's under pressure, whether it's fixed or not. This is under pressure. But, well, this is not, I mean, the spring's under pressure, but that's fixed. When you put this in here, well, obviously I can't show reassembly here. Oh, shit, we can change body part. We can't take a Beretta. All right, I gotta be careful. So anyways, yeah. So, old school guide rod system. This has that going on, which the barrel rotates in that. You're going to want to keep that part lubricated. I'm not saying it won't work if you don't, but any gun has wear points. It's a very strong lockup. This barrel locks into that, and it's like a corkscrew. When you're shooting this thing, it's exactly opposite like a Glock 19. The lockup on this chamber when you're firing, there's zero vibration. Like, I can't stress how solid this thing feels. It's totally overbuilt for 9mm, and you could almost say it's stupidly overbuilt for 9mm because it was strong build for 40 caliber with this design. But it was expensive, and hence they went to Turkey to make a cheaper one, and then they went to polymer to cut costs in the lower. I must say, there's so much cuts in here. This is a very expensive slide to make. I'm looking at that, because the barrel locks up in the center there. I've never seen that before, like on regular pistols. Obviously, I've had this pistol before, but I'm just explaining to you when I first saw that. It's got a pretty heavy slide. It's pretty beefy, especially for 9mm. So it's dirty. I'm gonna have to clean it now. But yeah, just so you get an idea of the internals. The barrel, it's a sub 4-inch barrel, and my hands are getting very dirty now. But obviously after shooting, but the barrel feels a little beefier in diameter than the 92 on the 92A1. So this is a 5-inch, but you can clearly see this is longer, but this has got the girth. I mean, ask the missus what she likes. Yeah, and I'll explain why too. This is a beefier barrel. This pistol was designed for 40 caliber. So this diameter here is gonna be overall bigger, right? So they're gonna have to compensate the 9mm, which is a 35 caliber, with a wider barrel to fill the hole. If this is designed for 40 caliber barrel, that just makes sense. So in a way, it just makes the gun even more fucking heavy and overbuilt, is what it is. Here you got the lower, which is obviously dirty now. It's gonna be very similar to, sorry, this is kind of bumping around. Bottom line is you get the idea. Overbuilt as hell. You're gonna have your ejector when the extractor is pulling the case out. The back of the case is gonna hit that and eject it out to the right. Is what it is. It's got a very large ejector, and some parts are similar to the 92. Some parts are not. I believe the hammer might be similar. And here, look, it even has the pin there for the case, God forbid, the slide breaks off. So there are some aspects of this that might be, yeah, definitely here too, yeah. Yeah, here you got for the, what do you call it? For this piece right here, the firing pin block. Yeah, so, yeah, kudos. Oof, don't damage the slide. What a terrible review, right? Piece of shit. I like the way they both shoot. One pistol, though, wins, obviously, is a 92 in any size, because the world's accepted it. It's never going to let it go. The 8000 transitioned, and nobody remembers the 8000. It was ahead of its time, and then the Beretta forgot about it by switching it to plastic, and then also sending it away to Turkey. So this one gun became two, and now they're making a new version of the PX4 coming out, Beretta set. So is what it is. So this was a 92 from the past, fantastic firearm. It was the future in the 80s. And then this is the upgraded one, which is even beefier and can take plus P all day, or if this was in 40 cal, it was built for that. Here's the aluminum buffer, okay? Very little recoil on this. The A1s have such low recoil, but compared to this, like the vibration, like it's surprising how well this thing shoots. But then when you look at the weight for what it is and the way it's overbuilt, you're like, for God's sakes. I mean, even so, this is the upgraded 92 frame. Look how beefy that is. If you looked at the extra weight they added to it, compared to a classic 92, which the classic 92 frame is much thinner on the bottom. And then you look at this design. So this, in a way, it's like they took what they did from here and went to that. This thing is so beefy, this frame. This thing is overbuilt. And then the fact that the barrel doesn't lock in with the aluminum frame, it locks in with the steel anvil pretty much. It locks in with that. You know, so. And then it does have an arrow on it, so you know which way to point it. So you know which way to stick it. The right way. Like that. That's how it locks up. It's ridiculous. Rotate that baby. Sit on it, rotate. Let me clean this up. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just wanted to make a Beretta video, I guess. Fuck it.